Forks, Washington, Black Cottage. "What the hell happened, Harry?" asked Hermione. "The teacher said you were hit by a car?" asked Fred. "Are you all done?" asked Harry. "Merlin, you sound like Malfoy." "Hey!" called Fred. "You started it," said Harry. "Boys," called Hermione, "can we get back to the point?" "Okay," said Harry. "I was listening to my iPod while I was checking my backpack. This van came up fast just as a car was getting out of a parking space in reverse. The van didn't see it. It started spinning out of control and headed straight at me." He took a breath. "That's when I confirmed. The Cullens are not human." Harry tells them that though he has confirmed they're not human, he can confirm they're not evil, though several of the family are terrified that their secret would be discovered. Paul and Brent texted Fred and Hermione about their brother. They both texted back. Harry asked what happened. They blush and he can tell where it's all going. Fred tells them about Brent and they are surprised yet relieved that they're not the only ones in town with powers. If anything happens they can use him as a contact to reach the corresponding magical authorities. Harry tells them he's happy for them and hopes to meet them soon. Forks, Blackpine Cottage. Fred picked up Harry from school and they drive home. When they get home they sit down to eat with Hermione and Fred tells her about Brent. Hermione told him she'd love to meet him. Harry agreed, seeing having another wizard in town would be beneficial and helpful. Hermione agreed, saying that with all the supernatural energy in the air it wouldn't hurt. Fred jumped to the phone, which Hermione and Harry noticed but remained quiet about. Fred called Brent and asked if he wanted to come over for dinner to meet his siblings. Brent agreed. Brent hanged up and Charlie asked who it was. He told them about Fred and his family. Charlie said it couldn't hurt him to meet and hang out with people, especially if they were wizards like him. Bella, who was listening in from the hallway, she was fuming with jealousy, for she was a squib, a pathetic squib, with nothing special about her. She gritted her teeth as Charlie told Brent to extend an invitation for dinner as well. She inhaled, thinking she had Edward, and soon she wouldn't be ordinary and pathetic. No, she would be a vampire. Immortal and perfect forever. She entered the room in a green dress and crystal chandelier earrings. She wanted to look perfect for Edward and that she was invited to the Cullens for a party. She promised she'd be home at 10 sharp. Charlie was surprised that Bella had established a curfew. He said it was Saturday and that 11 was fine. Bella smiled, gave him and her brother a hug before heading out. By the time she stepped outside, Edward was there. He gave her a kiss and a hug before escorting her to the car and driving off down the road. Forks. The Sunday paper reports of another murder, this one closer to town. Animal attack. Harry turned to Fred. "Did you see this?" he asked, flinging the paper his way. "Yes," said Fred. "Dogs, wolves, animal attack?" asked Harry. "This can't be coincidental, can it?" Fred shook his head. "No. Something is definitely out there in those woods." "Something not human," said Harry. October. Forks High parking lot. It's field trip day and Harry is excited to go exploring around town. The class was standing around in line, giving the teacher their permission slips. "Harry," said Mr. Molina. He saw Harry sign the slip himself. "Your parents need to sign this." "I'm an emancipated orphan, Mr. Molina. Me and my siblings, our parents left us very well financially, so yeah," said Harry. "Oh, of course," said Mr. Molina. "Thank you. Taking the permission slip. Just hang around while we go." Harry nodded and stepped aside. Emmett heard this and was concerned, wanting to know why he was an orphan and anything else he could find out. Mike Newton walked over to Harry. "Look at you, huh? You're alive," he said, pretending to be Frankenstein. "I know, yeah." "False alarm," said Harry. "Yeah," said Mike. "I wanted to ask, now that it's October." He laughed nervously. Harry noticed Emmett was watching him. "Do you want to go to the Halloween ball with me?" Harry didn't hear a word he said. "So what do you think?" "About what?" asked Harry. "Do you want to go to the ball?" With me? Asked Mike. Oh, ball. Dancing. Not really my thing. Laughed Harry. I have something that weekend anyways. I'm going to Salem that weekend. You can't go another weekend? Asked Mike. Non-refundable ticket, said Harry. Why don't you ask Bella or Dot or Jessica? I know she wants to go with you. Forks greenhouses. They were walking around the greenhouses and it gave Harry good memories of his herbology classes with Professor Sprout. He missed her and in a way longed for his days as a Hogwarts student. Eggshells, carrot tops, compost. It's cool, said Melina. Not stuff that in there, Eric. Yes sir, said Eric as he pumps all the crap into the bucket. Now I'm gonna make a steaming cup of compost tea. Give me that, said one of the students. This is recycling in its purest form, said Melina. No, don't drink it. It's for the plants. Harry walked by Emmett. What's in Salem? What? Asked Harry. How did you know about that? You didn't answer my question, said Emmett. Well, you don't answer any of mine, so, said Harry. Who does this guy think he is? He thought. Are you going to tell me how you stopped the van? Yeah. I had an adrenaline rush, said Emmett. It's very common with guys like me who work out at the gym. You can Google it. Harry was about to respond but tripped over a bag of dirt. Emmett caught him immediately. Will you at least watch where you walk? He sighed, clearly irritated. Look, I'm sorry that I'm being rude all the time. I just think it's the best way. He walked off. What? Asked Harry. Forks greenhouse parking. Harry made his way to one of the buses. He saw Edward and Bella arguing their way into one of the buses. Emmett walked over to him. Harry, we shouldn't be friends, said Emmett. You really should have figured that out a little earlier, said Harry. I mean, why didn't you just let the van crush me and save you all this regret? He gently barked. You think I regret saving you? Asked Emmett. It hurt him that Harry thought that about him. I know you do, I just don't know why, said Harry. You don't know anything, said Emmett. Alice and Jasper walked over. Hi. Are you going to be riding with us? No, said Harry. That bus is full. He gave Emmett a cold stare and walked over to the other bus that was colon-free. Emmett stepped onto the bus, passes the arguing Bella and Edward and slid into his seat. After a moment he banged his hand on the seat in front of him with frustration. Forks, Blackpine Cottage. 2 days later Harry waved his wand, making the dirty breakfast dishes start washing themselves independently on the sink. Hermione and Fred were sitting on the kitchen table. Narcissa flew again, said Hermione. Well, it's your fault. You shouldn't have told her about the almost accident, said Harry. Yeah, said Fred. She does worry a lot about us. She's gotten so much better since Lucius was given the kiss, said Hermione. How long has it been? A year and a half? More or less, said Harry. Should we invite her for Halloween? Asked Hermione. Her and Draco? It would do her some good to be around us. She considers us her children. Sure, said Harry. He checked his watch. Let's go. Forks High Library. Harry had a free period before lunch, so he decided to check out the library. At the moment he was checking out a book about the solar system. Bonjour, Harry, said Michelle. Hi, Michelle, said Harry. Looking for your destiny in the stars? Asked Michelle. Harry chuckled. No. I decided not look into my future on purpose. Knowing too much too soon can be dangerous. I know from experience. Michelle found this answer curious. Aliens? Harry turned at him. Pardon? Do you believe in aliens? Asked Michelle. Do you believe there are beings like that? Yes, said Harry. I believe in many things, even here on Earth. I believe that there are creatures hidden in the shadows and even in plain sight. Creatures that are beyond the natural. And should these creatures, should they exist, be evil? Everything that is alien to our understanding is not evil, Michelle, said Harry. Humans tend to label creatures they don't understand as evil or dangerous. But, how do they know that? These so-called mythological or alien creatures aren't evil, they might have dark tendencies, but don't we all? Aren't we all capable of darkness? It's how we are treated and what we are taught that defines us. Who we hang around with and who we love. Michelle is impressed, and the other Cullens listening in were impressed with his answer and theory. The lunch bell rang. "Ah," starred Michelle. He said as he packed his book and headed out the door to the cafeteria. Forks, hi, cafeteria. Harry was at the fruit table, admiring the vegetables and fruit arrangement. "Edible art?" asked Emmett from behind. Harry turned, knocking an apple down. Emmett kicked it with his foot before it hit the ground, making it go up into his hand. "Harry?" He cocked a small grin. "You know your mood swings are getting on my nerves," said Harry. Emmett put the apple on Harry's tray. "I only said it would be better if we weren't friends, not that I didn't want to be." "What does that mean?" asked Harry. "You're so confusing." "It means if you were smart, you'd stay away from me," said Emmett. "Then why are you here?" asked Harry. "What if I don't want to? That I'm not smart, would you tell me the truth?" "No, probably not," said Emmett. Harry turned to pick up a chocolate milk. "I'd rather hear your theories." Mike, the Cullens, Fred and Hermione along with several others in the lunchroom was looking at them from their tables. "Radioactive spiders and kryptonite," said Harry. "To start with." "That's all superhero stuff, right?" said Emmett. "Yeah," said Harry. "You do physically look like Superman." Emmett grinned. "Really? Hot?" "Yay," started Harry, looking over Emmett's body. The man had a dark blue tight sweater and jeans, his muscles clearly defined by the fabric. He was a god. He then blushed and turned back to his chocolate milk. "I mean, you do stand out given your bulk." Emmett nodded. "But what if I'm not the hero? What if I am the bad guy?" Harry put his milk on the tray and turned to him. "You're not." "How are you so sure?" asked Emmett. "Because I know what it's like to be judged by what you are. I can see what you're trying to put off, I can see that it's just to keep people away from you. It's a mask. Why don't we just hang out?" Emmett smiled. "Everybody is going to the beach. Come." Harry moved to the checkout counter. "You can have fun, loosen up." "Which beach?" asked Emmett. Something in him liked very much the idea of spending a day at the beach with Harry. "La Push," said Harry. "I've heard it's good for whale watching and surfing." "I don't know," said Emmett. "Is there something wrong with that beach?" asked Harry. "It's just too crowded," said Emmett, walking away to his table. "It had to be the dog beach. Damn," he argued in his head. "Forks, Quileute Reservation, LA Push Beach. I keep thinking Eric is going to invite me to prom and just doesn't," said Angela. "You should ask him," said Bella. "Take control, you're a strong, independent woman." "I am?" asked Angela. "Of course you are," said Hermione as she finished getting her wetsuit on. Just then Paul and his friends Jacob and Seth and Quill at the beach parking lot, just a few feet away from the cold sand. "Bella!" cheered Jacob. "Hi Jacob!" greeted Bella. "Hermione!" smiled Paul. Hermione grinned. "Paul." Jacob sat next to Bella. "What are you like, stalking me?" "You're on my res, remember?" said Jacob. "Are you surfing?" No," said Bella. Paul turned to Hermione. "Are you?" "Yes," said Hermione. "I learned a year or so ago and I'm quite good." Mike and Eric stared at her, along with everyone. "It's simple mathematics." She looked at Paul. "Are you?" "Got my trunks on," smiled Paul. "Paul, these are my brothers Fred and Harry Potter," said Hermione. "Fred, Harry, this is Paul Lehote." "Hi," said Paul. He shook Fred's hand. Looking into his eyes he saw blue eyes flashing slightly. Wolf, he thought. His wolf was growling, but then sensed the red hair guy was not a threat, just smelled protective of his sister, which Paul respected. Hermione's brother is a wolf. Maybe she'll be open to me. How do I explain what I am without breaking the rules of secrecy? How? You guys should keep Harry company, said Bella. His date bailed. What date? Asked Mike. I invited Emmett, said Angela. To be polite, said Harry. Angela stepped in to help Harry. I think it's nice he invited him. Nobody ever does. Yeah, 'cause Cullen's a freak, said Mike. You got that right, said Quill. Harry looked at Mike with a not-so-pleasant look. Then he looked at Hermione. Paul saw the look in Harry's eyes. He was upset they made fun of the Cullen. You guys know him? He asked coldly to the two Quillute boys mocking Emmett with Mike. The Cullens don't come here, said Quill. It was more of a direct statement, as if they were forbidden to be there instead of anything else. After Hermione caught and surfed around 8 large waves, she decided to rest from the water and walk around with Paul. Paul liked having some alone time with his mate. What did your friends mean by the Cullens don't come here? You caught that right? Asked Paul. I'm not supposed to say anything about it, Light? I can keep a secret, said Hermione. I want to know. Did you know that Quillutes are allegedly descendant from wolves? Asked Paul. I've read something about it from one of the library books I checked out, said Hermione. Well, that's the legend of our tribe, said Paul. Hermione was deep in thought. So where do the Cullens come in? They're supposedly descendant from this enemy clan. My great-grandfather, the chief, found them hunting in our lands. But they claimed to be something different, so we made a treaty with them. If they promised to stay out of Quillute lands, then we wouldn't expose what they really were to the Palefaces. I thought they just moved here? Asked Hermione. Or moved back, suggested Paul. He gave Hermione some answers to her theories but left her with many new questions. You really believe in all this hocus-pocus stuff? Oh yeah, said Hermione. I definitely think that believing in the supernatural is definitely a plus. With a wink she took her surfboard and raced off into the water. Paul watched her sail the waves like a mermaid.